General H. Norman Schwarzkopf has served in numerous and varied command and staff assignments throughout the United States, Europe, and the Pacific. During his years of service, he served 2 combat tours in the Republic of Vietnam and later was designated Deputy Commander of the Joint Task Force in charge of U.S. forces participating in the Grenada Student Rescue Operation. General Schwarzkopf is most recently remembered for his service as Commander-in-Chief, United States Central Command, and Commander of Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. In August 1991, he officially retired from military service. Since his retirement, General Schwarzkopf has become an accomplished author and participated in numerous television specials. He has also been actively involved in nature conservation. In addition, General Schwarzkopf has demonstrated his concern for others through his efforts to improve the lives of seriously ill children. Along with Paul Newman, he co-founded a year-round camp in Florida and is chairman of the Starbright Capital Campaign, both of which improve the quality of life for children with chronic illnesses. He has also organized numerous fundraising events in an effort to find a cure for prostate cancer and has raised over $13 million for the Miami Project to cure paralysis. He is an individual who truly has dedicated his life to the service of others. General Schwarzkopf has also given tremendously to the University of Richmond as a member of the Board of Trustees and through his help in the organization and founding of the Jepson School of Leadership Studies. He is not only here today as our distinguished guest, but also as a proud parent of his son Christian, a member of the class of 1999. Ladies and gentlemen, General H. Norman Schwarzkopf.
Thank you. I hope you realize how much pressure you put on a speaker when you give them a standing ovation before they've said one word. The natural inclination to say, thank you very much, this concludes my remarks, and just get out of here, because it doesn't get any better than that. I really do appreciate that introduction, David. I remember what a great man once said, having received a similar introduction. He said, I wish my mother and father were alive today. My dad would be skeptical, but my mother would have believed every single word of that, you know that? I would correct just one thing, and that's you call me a great American hero. I don't consider myself a hero. I had 541,000 magnificent American men and women. They were the true heroes of Desert Storm. We should never forget that. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you at your graduation. It is truly, truly a special occasion and a time that you will all remember. I distinctly remember the man that spoke to me at my graduation. He was a Washington politician. He came to West Point, and I don't remember one word he said. I do remember he talked for in excess of 45 minutes. That I do remember. And I promise you that I will spare you that today. Now, first of all, for those of you who don't recognize me, I am indeed General Schwarzkopf. I say that because, for some reason, people expect me to be wearing camouflage. And if I'm not wearing camouflage, you know, I'm not General Schwarzkopf. It's amazing the perceptions that people have about you. I work out every other day, as you can tell from this magnificent body that stands before you. And at the end of my workout, I always go into the steam bath. True story. Last summer, I walked into the steam bath. I was not wearing camouflage at the time. And there was a man in there, and he turned and he looked at me and said, did anybody ever tell you that from a distance you look exactly like General Schwarzkopf? And I thought I'd play along with him. I said, yeah, I hear that a lot. He said, yeah, it's only when you get up close you realize you're not General Schwarzkopf. I never told him. He does not know to this day. Class of 1999. It's got a special ring to it. This is really an exciting milestone. I hope you realize that you are the last class that will graduate from Richmond in this century. By the time another class graduates, it'll be a new century, and indeed it'll be the beginning of the new millennium. And what that means is you will lead all subsequent Richmond classes into the 21st century. Up to today, you have been preparing for your leadership role. But beginning today, you become leaders of our nation and of the world. As surely as I stand here before you, each and every one of you will lead. Of course, many of you will lead in the business world that you choose to step into. That's understandable. But many, many more will lead in your communities, in community government, in community activities like the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Rotaries, and things like that. Many of you will lead in schools. You will lead by being members of the faculty, but you'll also lead because you have children in the school system, and therefore you'll participate in organizations like the PTA and things of this sort. Many, many, many of you will take up leadership positions in your church. And each and every one of you will be a leader in your home. Now, I know about this time somebody says, wait a minute, Schwarzkopf, I'm not a born leader. Joe over there or Susie over there, they're born leaders, but I'm not a born leader. We ought to set that to rest right now. I don't believe there is any such thing as a born leader. I don't think the circumstances of your birth have anything at all to do with your ability to lead. Let me give you a very concrete example of that. Schwarzkopf family are great dog lovers. We have 2 dogs, both of them imported from Germany, no less. One of them's name is Orso. Orso is the Italian word for bear. Orso is a German shepherd. Black and shiny coat, big bushy tail, long pointed ears, long teeth hanging out of his mouth. Magnificent animal. He is so magnificent, as a matter of fact, that last year on the Purina Dog Chow calendar, he was Mr. May. I want you to know his mommy and daddy are very proud of him. Orso weighs 90 pounds. Our other dog's name is Grizz. Grizz is short for grizzly bear. Grizz is also imported from Germany. Grizz is a wire-haired dachshund. He looks like a cross between a hot dog and a toilet brush. And Grizz weighs 18 pounds. Now, which of those 2 dogs do you think is the undisputed leader in the Schwarzkopf household? Grizz, of course, Grizz. You see, Grizz has never looked in a mirror. The only thing Grizz has ever seen is Orso, and Grizz thinks he's a 90-pound German shepherd. Worse yet, Orso sometimes thinks he's an 18-pound wire-haired dachshund. That causes us a lot of problems. But the point here is that it doesn't make any difference whether you're fat or skinny, or whether you're tall or short, whether you're black, white, purple, blue, or gray. The circumstances of your birth are totally irrelevant. What is important is that you think of yourself as a leader. And if you think of yourself as a leader, you truly will be a leader. I call that the Grizz principle of leadership. So what advice can I give you today, you who are going to be leaders of the 21st century? I think that I must start off by telling you that leadership is a whole combination of different ingredients. But by far, the single most important ingredient of leadership is your character. Your character. That's what's important in leadership. Now, I've had the cynics scoff at that. They said, oh, Schwarzkopf, you make too much of this character thing, you know. It's not really important. As a matter of fact, in a debate that was held right here a few years ago, we were told that character really wasn't important. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for one second. I tell the cynics, go out and look at the leadership failures that have occurred in this country in the last 100 years. You will find that 99% of all the leadership failures in this country in the last 100 years were not failures in competence. They were failures in character. Greed, lying, prejudice, racism, intolerance, sexism, hate, immorality, amorality, none of these things are competence failures. They are all character failures. You see, leadership involves things like ethics. Leadership involves a sense of duty. Leadership involves a value system. Leadership involves morality, and indeed, leadership involves integrity. And that's why character is what counts in leadership. And the linchpin of all of this is indeed integrity. Integrity. You know, the most important thing to my mind that you will all take away from this university today will be your personal value system. That you have developed while you have been here. For some of you, it'll be extremely broad, allowing a great deal of latitude and tolerance. For many, many others of you, it'll be very, very, very narrow, allowing for little room to maneuver and very little compromise. And with experience and with age, as you go through life, you will modify constantly your system of values. But I tell you today, the one thing you should never compromise is your integrity. Everything else in your life can be taken away from you, but only you can give away your integrity. Integrity is truly the window into your soul. Next, always remember that leaders don't lead things. Leaders lead people. Human beings with hopes and dreams, just like you have hopes and dreams. Regrettably, though, most of them aren't as lucky as you and I. They need a hand every now and then. You know, the really great thing about this country that we live in, America, is that you can do your own thing. And I encourage every single one of you to get out there and do your own thing. But when you're doing your own thing, I like to say, do your own thing plus one. Did you ever stop to think how great this world would be if everyone did their own thing and then just did one other thing to help someone else? I tell you that I have personally learned through life that the greatest happiness that you will ever achieve comes from truly selfless service. Truly selfless service. And remember this, you can't help someone get up a hill without getting closer to the top yourself. Finally, dare to live your dream. As I said to you before, the wonderful thing about our country is that you can do anything you want to do, as long as you don't interfere with someone else doing what they want to do. So dare to live your dream. You know, it's the dreamers of the past and present who have given us the greatest gifts to mankind, and so it will always be in the future. A cure for cancer, a cleaner environment, space travel, an end to poverty and famine, better schools, world peace, all of these things and many, many more will be given to us by the dreamers. So take your best shot and dare to live your dream. Of course, you'll stumble along the way, we all do, but always remember that life is sort of like the 400-meter race at a track meet. It's a staggered start. You can never tell who's ahead until the end of the race. So when you stumble, get back up and follow your dreams again. And at the finish line of life, the winners are not determined by the quantity of the material goods that they have amassed, but rather by the quality of what they leave behind. So that's my advice to you. Your character is your most important ingredient of your leadership. Your integrity is the most important ingredient of your character. Leaders lead people, so do your own thing, but do your own thing plus one. And dare to live your dreams. Most of you all will live in America. Whether we like it or not, the world has left the United States as the only remaining superpower. That's an awesome responsibility. That's an awesome responsibility that has been handed to us. First of all, vis-a-vis our responsibility with the rest of the world. And secondly, our responsibility as to what kind of a nation we will be unto ourselves. And of course, the doomsday prophets and the naysayers climb out from under their flat rocks and they tell us that America has gone to hell in a handbag. They say we can't handle our responsibility. They say that we will fail in our leadership role. They point to scandals and gridlock in Washington, D.C., riots in L.A., crime in Miami, and they say, this is America. They're wrong. They are so very, very, very wrong. I'm very lucky because I get to travel the length and breadth of this great country of ours, and all along the way I meet millions of people with the same values and beliefs that always have made America the great nation it is today. America's not scandal in Washington, D.C. America's not riots in L.A. America's not crime in Miami. America is the American people. And with all of our blemishes and all of our faults, the United States of America is still the greatest nation on the face of this earth, bar none. Bar none. And one more thing. Beginning today, America is you. America is you beginning today. You will be the leaders of the 21st century in this great country of ours. So I leave you with a final thought. The losers say it may be possible, but it's too difficult. The winner says it may be difficult, but it's possible. And the leader says nothing is impossible. The loser says it's not my job. The winner says, let me help you do it. And the leader says, follow me and do as I do. Congratulations, Richmond graduates. We will follow you, and I wish you the greatest success and happiness as 21st century leaders of character.